We are live. We are live. We are live. Welcome to Talk Talk Live on IG and YouTube. We are simulcasting tonight as usual, and I'm glad you are here. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Talk Live here on IG and YouTube. And yes, I hope you had a great day. I hope you had a great week. And we're just going to get into this right now. Thank you very much for joining me. Sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTALK.com. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So let's get into this. I hope you had a great week, yes. And I hope all is well with you, and you are making plans for the weekend, and it's all well and good. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're on IG and YouTube exclusively. So again, looking forward to hearing from you and your comments. So let's discuss this. Modern motherhood, modern parents are doing, ruining their children's lives, ruining their children's behaviors. Now this topic stems from a rant, a well-known rant, which has been inundating the air, inundating most of social media at the moment. And yes, and it involves a ballet teacher who was talking about how the kids in her care, the kids under her instruction, were literally, I don't like calling kids demons, but they were demons in and around her class, being very disruptive, lashing out at other kids for no reason, and having no behavior whatsoever, no home training whatsoever, no bratupsi whatsoever, as we say around here. And it has resulted in this woman breaking down and literally, going into a tirade, a necessary tirade, mind you, about these unmannerly children. So we're going to break down how, indeed, zennial parents / mothers have dropped the ball in terms of their kids' upbringing and dropped the ball in terms of their kids' behavior, and has literally, led children to the road to nowhere. It has been said that most of these kids who may or may not be in single mother homes are more than likely, I would say 70-80% more likely, we've proved this on Talk Talk Live again, more than likely to end up in jail, have behavioral issues, have psychological issues, tend to be involved in sexual promiscuity earlier, tend to dislike authority, tends to end up in jail, and tend to basically have a bad start out in life without a father in the home. So we're going to get into this tonight, and we're going to be featuring, as I said on the title, Crimson Cure. Crimson Cure is doing wonderful things in the YouTube streets. She is a paragon of virtue, paragon of, a paragon of womanhood, femininity, and tells it to you straight. Gives it to you without chaser. And, I always love harking back to her videos. But again, first off, we're going to get into the video itself. So let's get into it right away, because I do not want to waste any more time with you. Waste your time, actually. So we're going to get into this right away. We are on the browser, and we're going to get into this video. Now, shout out to Zigstorm TV. He had the... he finally gave us the unadulterated, pirated video from this lady, and we have to give him thanks and praise for that. And yeah, I appreciate this reach out, because again, I looked everywhere for this video, uncut, unfiltered, and I finally found one. And shout out to Zigstorm TV. Like, subscribe to him as well. So let's get into this. I'm going to let it run full out. I'm not going to stop it. I'm just going to let it run for the 9 minutes, and then we'll have a comment afterwards, okay? And it says, frustrated teacher calls out parents of this generation to step up and do better with their kids. But in particular, he calls out the mothers of these children who have, basically harassed her for their children's bad behavior, and literally asked her to, disregard their behavior and see her as the problem rather than the children. And again, that is a dereliction of duty as a parent, in my estimation, point blank, period. So we'll get into this video. I'll let it run throughout, and we'll discuss it afterwards. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTALK.com. And this is a retro, but you can go to Duntalk.com. They have their fall winter line out now, and they have their Black Friday sales out now. So go out, look for that, and let's get into this. Thank you very much, and we'll begin.
I'm calling out all the parents. If you're a parent and your child is in pre-K to elementary school to high school, I'm calling you out. The children today, I have never experienced, and I'm 22. Having to teach and work with you guys as children has been the most traumatic experience of my life. I teach 5-year-olds ballet. 5-year-old girls ballet. I have a class of 10 students. They don't respect any authority. You ask them, can you stand in your designated spot? They're telling you no and shut up. They're throwing things at each other. They're throwing things at other people, other classmates. You say, can everybody sit in their spot? I don't want to. I'm not doing that. You don't get to tell me what to do. You're not my mom. You confront the parent. The parent tries to argue with you and fuss at you because you tried to reprimand and redirect their kid. I told a young little girl, please sit in your spot. You're not my mom. You don't tell me what to do. Okay. When her mom came to pick her up, I said, hey, your daughter's having a hard time following instructions. And 7 times today I've had to redirect her to just sit in her spot. Well, clearly she didn't want to sit. And mind you, this is a mom. Clearly she didn't want to fucking sit right there. So, I mean, if she's telling you she don't want to do something, why keep asking her to do it? You know she's not going to do it. What world do we live in? Like, what in you guys' brain as a parent says, my kid not following any directions is a great thing. It's not that serious, and y'all don't have a right to tell her what to do. It's sad. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And another thing that's heart-wrenching, it's horrifying. It is horrifying. Your 5-year-old daughters are asking to listen to Pound Town and Ski Yee. Your daughters, your 5-year-old daughters are asking, can we hear Pound Town? I'm playing them Princess Tiana ballet music. And they are asking me, can we hear Pound?
Stopping there for a second. Just in reference, I'm sorry I had to stop it there, but just for referential purposes. Pound Town is a song by Sexy Red, and Ski Yee is also a song by Sexy Red. And she has gone on, and it is a very debaucherous, very, very sexual-natured song that no 5-year-old should be listening to. Absolutely none. But yet they have access to it and wish to request it in a proper ballet studio. Let's continue.
I don't know what to do.
Fair use, fair use, fair use.
I don't know what to do. And I'm so scared for these little girls today because this is the most insane agenda push I have ever seen in my life. We do freestance. You guys' daughters are twerking at 5. 5. Where's the parenting? Where's the boundaries? Where's the help? Y'all are not helping your kids. You're hurting them. You guys are hurting them. I come every day dressed, ready to go, and I'm in school too. I'm in college. I mean, I put bows in my hair. I'm wearing leotards. I'm trying to get them interested in like proper things for their age, and you guys are exposing your kids to this raunchy secular music. Why is you guys' 5-year-old daughter singing Pound Town? And it's just really, 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 it's upsetting. And I feel so bad. And I've watched different techniques, soft skills, soft parenting, gentle parenting. I'm patient. I don't yell. I'll say, hey, let's regroup. If you guys need 5 minutes. Let's do some breathing. Your kids are telling me to shut up. You guys' kids are saying, I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. You're not my mom. They're putting their hand, they're hitting each other and hitting other kids. You address the parent. The parents are telling you, you don't tell my daughter what to do. It's not that bad. Well, at least she was in the class. At least. It's all these excuses. Y'all come in and you're more worried about what's going on your Instagram and TikTok feed versus being a parent. Be a fucking parent. You guys are horrible fucking parents. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but this generation of some of the mom, not all, but majority that I've dealt with kids that are between the ages of 5 and 4 and 3, you guys don't parent your children at all. They have no basic comprehension skills. They can't sit still. No attention span. They're hitting people. They can't talk. They can't communicate. They don't even know how to say, like, I want to go to the bathroom. If you ask them a question, they're rude, nasty, horrible attitudes at 5. And they want to hear Pound Town. What are you guys doing with your kids? What are you guys literally doing with your kids? Because I have never in my life experienced something so horrible. I literally don't even want to teach ballet to you guys' kids anymore because they are so hard to work and deal with. And I literally see why the teachers are quitting and your kids are getting expelled and kicked out, because it's no way, it is literally no way that this is happening. And you guys don't see any issue with it. I tell you, your kid hit someone and you're saying, well, what the fuck did the little bitch do to my daughter to make her want to hit? Nothing. Literally nothing. Your daughter just decides she wants to put her hands on people and you don't correct her. You're yelling at me, asking me, why does she feel like she wants to hit? What parenting is happening? You guys are worried about seafood boils and dates and fucking like partying and being a hot mom. You guys are shitty moms and it needs a change. Stop listening to Sexy Red around your children. Talk to your kid, interact with them, teach them, listen to them. Teach them to respect authority. Don't say you don't have to listen to anyone unless they're me. Your kids are so horrible and hard to deal with, and I'm blaming the parents because they have horrible guidance. And it needs to be a change. And I'm asking, can somebody's mom stitch me and say like what the holdup is? What is the issue? Why are you listening to raunchy music around your kids? Why is it that you have to deal with certain people and be rude about it? Why can nobody correct your kid or help them get on a better track? And why do you guys approve and applaud bad behavior? Why? Because I'm telling you, all the teachers that are good and have genuine interest in building your kid, I want to help them. I want to help these little girls realize that they're precious, that they have purpose, that they're beautiful, that they're smart and intelligent, and that they can be somebody. I don't want to see little 5-year-olds trying to twerk to Pound Town. And you guys think that it's cute. And I'm coming on here because it needs to be a change. So please tell me, as an educator, a teacher, and I'm just a ballet teacher. I'm not a regular trained institutional teacher. I'm teaching 5-year-olds ballet, and these are all the problems starting now, and it's no change happening. So what needs to be done and happen to fix this issue? Please, somebody tell me, somebody make it make sense, because I'm telling you, I'm this close to quitting and saying I never want to work with people's kids again, because this has been the most horrible experience. I've never dealt with an experience like this. Listening to raunchy music around your kids needs to stop. Applauding bad behavior needs to stop. Not giving your kid your attention but throwing an iPad at them or a tablet because you don't want to parent needs to stop. I'm coming on here and I'm begging you guys, I'm asking you to really please make a change. Make a change. Your kids' lives are depending on it for y'all to make a change. Please make a change.
There it is. In all perpetuity. I didn't want to stop it. I just wanted her to have her say. Let me go back to the big screen here for myself. You know, I work at a law firm. And one thing that corporate Canada, America, anywhere in the world, corporate Western world adheres to is a workforce and a society and public that allows for people to comport themselves in a certain manner, to have a certain level of behavior. I can guarantee you that if your child is one of these type children, if your child cannot comport herself with some sort of decorum, if your child can't sit still and has some sort of ADHD issue, if your child has a tendency to be violent for no reason, if you as a parent allow for such behavior to continue, let me tell you something. Right here and now, you are sending your child through a life of misery. Life will be nasty, brutish, and short for your child. Chances are. Not for everyone, but chances are it is. It's already been documented. You are literally writing your child's epitaph before they even start growing. Already. You know, back in the day, no matter where your child was born, one thing you were guaranteed was proper upbringing of your child. It didn't depend on what class you were, what race you were, what gender you were. You were raised with some sort of respect, with some sort of decorum, with some sort of proper upbringing. You can't say that anymore, especially as the millennials become parents, as the zennials will soon become parents themselves. You can't say that anymore. You can't. You can't even say that for some of the Gen X Gen X are usually they're out of the race. So I'm talking about millennials and zennials here. I'm talking about millennials, Gen Zs here. You cannot guarantee. You are, and it'll be explained, and I'll assume critique it with Crimson Cure. But you are. It is not a guarantee that you raise your child right. No guarantee. In fact, you probably raise your child wrong because you are a juvenile yourself. And with the rise of single-parent homes, especially single-mother homes, and without a father figure in the household, chances are that much greater. Because guess what? The mother is trying to be young herself. The mother is adhering to bad behavior. So is the father, but chances are most of these kids coming from a single-parent household, and more than likely a single mother one. Because as I said before, if you're a single father, it's as good as having two parents in the home. Because you at least have discipline, structure, and values instilled in you. Men keep women off the pole and men out of jail. So chances are, most of these kids that she's talking about come from single mother homes. You know who fills up 80% of jails these days? Single mother children. I've said it here on Talk to Talk Live before, and I'll say it again. If you are a father and you are not in the life of your child, you need to get in there now. Do not leave it to chance. Do not leave it to one woman to take care of your children, because especially if she is not deemed to be responsible, because guess what? You are one of these kids. You are definitely one of these children that she is describing here. Oh, my child's old. Oh, my child's great. Oh, my child's the salt of the earth. Crap to that. All you got to do is put her in a ballet class to see different. They're asking for Pound Town. They're twerking. They're acting out. They're not listening to authority. All these are strikes against you, especially in the workforce. Especially when it comes to earning money. You are relegating yourself to a life of misery. I'll say it straight up. Chances are that is indeed the case. Now again, you may get lucky and you be an entertainer or an athlete. But what are the chances in that? 1 in a million? Pretty much. So chances are your child will be a statistic. Ain't that grand? Let me say it again. Your child will be a statistic. And a negative one at that. Guaranteed. I run into children like this every single day, and it is deplorable, especially with us in the black community, because that young lady right there, 22 years old, she had a father in the home. Guaranteed she did. And I feel sorry for teachers these days in certain cities, especially in the U.S., where there is, especially in at-risk areas and communities there, where there's no sense of decorum, family values, and it's literally the Wild West. Kids, parents die every day. Mothers are looking for their next relationship and sexual experience. And the kids are left in front of an iPad, directed by their parent, attuned to Sexy Red's Pound Town. And they laugh and shriek in joy to see their child twerk. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? They vilify the teacher for trying to instill discipline in them. Because they say, oh, all hope's lost for me, so pass the buck and blame the teacher who's trying to teach your kids. No wonder teachers are on the decline in certain areas of America. They don't want to teach those kids. Literally, they don't want to teach them. And in certain other places around the world, they don't want to teach them because they lack discipline, they lack attention span, and they lack moral, ethical values instilled on them by the parents. So, and chances are, they come from single mother homes. Not to say the fathers are exonerated in this. There are fathers who indeed are bad role models for their children and who indeed check out. But chances are, if left to a mother's devices, and she wasn't raised right herself, the children are lost. The children are literally a statistic. No two words about it. I'm in and around kids most of my life, and I can tell who are the bad ones and good ones. I can tell. I'm a Gen X myself, so I think we were one of the last generations where morals, values, discipline, structure were placed in the home. One of the last generations. Millennials, we started dropping the ball there, and especially with the don't believe me? Okay. All right. Let's get to it. That's why I wanted to bring on this lovely lady right here. Let's get to it. Thank you very much for that, young lady. I do not recall her name, but she is speaking so much facts about the decline of this generation, the decline of these kids, the decline of this community. They're lost children, people. Plain, simple, to the point. With psychological issues, chances of moving to on the track towards prison, or a low-paying job, or dead or in jail. There it is. Don't believe me? Crimson Cure, please preach to us here at Talk Talk Live. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Crimson Cure goes off on a tirade, and she nails this huge problem within this generation of children. Huge problem within this generation of parents. Simple as. I'll let her tell it.
What women do. Because it is a direct negative effect on everybody else.
Hold on, just a second.
What
Let's rewind that.
That get in under my comment section talking about what does it matter what a woman chooses? Why is it anybody's business what women do? Because it is a direct negative effect on everybody else. What does it matter what these single mothers are choosing? What does it matter that they choose to birth children out? No commitment, no marriage, no preparation on being a mother, no preparation on parenthood, no concept of raising children properly or what that looks like, or sacrifices, the selfishness. What does it matter though? What does it matter though? Because we shouldn't be concerned, correct, over what women choose to do. We shouldn't be concerned on how a woman raises her child when that child is going to become an adult that everybody else got to deal with.
There it is. Her progeny becomes society's problem to deal with. They become a ward of the state. They pass the buck to us to handle. So when there's violence in the streets and innocents are killed, it's too late then. It's way too late then. But that's what these ladies are trying to do. They'd rather not have a man at home. They'd rather let society deal with their failures. With zero accountability whatsoever. Not to say that some are trying to rectify it, but most don't. They don't. And as single motherhood is on the rise, believe me, it's only about, I think, speaking for the African diaspora, especially in the United States, 33% of them are married. Imagine that number now when it comes to millennials and zennials. That will further reduce drastically. I say it'd be cut in half. Because women are seeking sexual gratification than marriage. They rather carry before they marry. And such a shame it is. because then it becomes society's problem. We have to deal with it. We have to build the prisons. We have to dig the ditches. We have to present the eulogies. We have to deal with the malcontents, as the young lady already showed before. It becomes our responsibility when it should be theirs. It used to be theirs, but not anymore. They want to pass the buck. In order to find love, in order to find in order to find sexual gratification, they don't want to be parents anymore. They'd rather leave that to an iPad. They'd rather leave that to TV. They'd rather leave that to videos like Sexy Reds.
Everybody else got to deal with your bad decisions and not being a good guardian and gatekeeper of your womb. Everybody got to deal with your decision to be the worst steward of children. Everybody got to deal with that. Everybody got to deal with it. That's why it's everybody's business. That's why we quote unquote pressed about the decisions that you make. Because y'all don't want to have any order for anything. What this young lady is talking about is the consequence of dismissing and actively alienating and depriving your children of their fathers. And it starts with purposely choosing men that either don't want children or are unprepared for the children either way. Or it also starts with your unwillingness to be in committed marriages before carrying the child of any man. Of any man.
No true words have been said. A lot of these ladies would rather have 10 to 20 to 30, even 4 or 5 kids with irresponsible men. Because it gives them the feels. Because the sex is great. Then deal with a responsible man who can be in the home and provide a system, order, structure, protection, provision, procreation, and problem solving that children need. Nowadays, it's all about looks. Nowadays, it's all about not dealing with a responsible man, but dealing with a man who will give them great coitus. Isn't that grand? The responsible fathers are in your friend zone, but you don't want to deal with those, do you? That's too hard to do because they're too corny. You don't want to deal with a corny man. You want to deal with a man who's tall and has good looks, but is socially inept and seriously irresponsible. That's what you want. By hook or by crook, you must have the sex. And F the rest. Because it is your gratification before anything else. In other words, new parents are putting themselves first rather than their children. When it used to be the other way around. Now it's a craze about me, what I want. If I don't get the man I want and the way I want him, then I'll leave him and do it by myself. You're doing bad all by yourself. That's right. You do bad all by yourself. And that, my dear, leads you on a road to nowhere. A living hell. That is only window dressed with periodic flights of fancy and enjoyment. while your kids are left to suffer for your ill-fated decisions. And any irresponsible man of any race would never want to deal with these parents. No. It is clear that their genetic makeup, that their life experiences are trash. Not to say all are, but a lot would reject them. See, here, one thing my mother always told me, women have an antenna for a certain type of man. They have a reading for a certain type of man. So therefore, if a woman likes drama, she likes a drama-filled man. If a woman likes structure and order and semblance and family values, then she's looking for a certain type of man. The problem is, within the African diaspora, especially in the West, especially in North America, especially in the big cities, that is on the rise. The need to please yourself is on the rise. Rather than thinking of the next generation, the need for self-gratification is on the rise. And whatever family structure or lack thereof, or whatever alternative lifestyle or lack thereof you end up with, so be it. What's the Satanist saying again? Do what thou wilt. Or something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. Instead of thinking of the next generation the way previous generations did, you'd rather leave it to society. That is why in certain parts of the West, things are going to hell in a handbasket. Let's continue.
Those decisions right there that are quote unquote your personal decisions that quote unquote nobody has a right to judge you on and nobody has a right to speak on, and it's your—
Remember what I said, do what thou wilt, right? There it is.
Your business, and everybody else should mind their business. It become everybody's business when you raise these little grimlords and little heathens to be grown grimlords and heathens. It's the active deprivation and separation of children from their fathers. By any means necessary, y'all do this. These are plans. Go into some situationship, relationship, whatever it may be, have a baby, ditch the guy, try to go get child support. It's a script at this point. Nobody believes that the men are coming to y'all and faking relationships. Don't nobody gotta fake nothing to be with y'all. Y'all so thirsty and desperate and crazy and hoish that don't nobody gotta lie to y'all no more. That's some stuff that used to happen in the 90s, in the 80s. A dude might try to fake like he in with you with a relationship to try to get what he want. Y'all hoes now. Ain't nobody gotta lie to you. Men can tell you the truth to your face and you will still believe whatever's in your head and delusional and go into situations purposely to get pregnant, trying to trap a dude, trying to do whatever it is that you, whatever selfish motives that you have for this, or just downright being careless with your womb. Just downright careless with your womb. Just
did a show the other day about pregnancy fraud, DNA fraud, and Paternity fraud. That's the one. And how women don't know who their father is, but rather point and click at some unwitting soul and say, that's him. Get him for his funds. Instead of doing the responsible thing and marrying before they're carried, or being in a committed relationship before you have a family, you say you're single, independent, you don't need a man. But that man will lead you to a better life. And that man, if he's responsible, is the key to happiness. I cannot stress this enough. It is the number one problem in our community is the fact that women decided to do it for themselves rather than depend on a man, because everyone else seems to have it right. We seem to get it wrong because we can't, the women can't stop and think that, you know what, if I end up doing this by myself, what type of road am I leading my kids into? What kind of life have I left my kids to fight for and thaw out? Because no doubt about it, kids, these kids that you leave to their own devices, believe me, and you leave it in society's care, believe me, society will show them a different story. Society will not be so trusting and caring and be so defensive and deflecting blame. Society will literally write you off and it will move on. And that's what a lot of you ladies don't realize. You don't realize it one bit. And you're leading your children to a life that is, as Charles Dickens said, nasty, brutish, and short. Let's continue.
Just downright, hey, I'm not paying attention. I'm just hoeing around, sliding around, letting dudes nut and all kind of stuff. Now this dude ain't said nothing about wanting no kid. I ain't talked about it. He ain't prepared for it. None of that. And I done let him ski all up through me. Then want to be surprised that I'm pregnant and that he doesn't want anything to do with the baby, or he's unprepared to be a father in the first place.
Stop it there for a second. You know what Sexy Red said about, because this got back to her. This needed diatribe by this young lady got back to her. You know what she said? She said, "Shut the F up and play Pound Town." I'll repeat. She said, "Shut the F up and play Pound Town." Now, of course, needless to say, she got a lot of flack then from all people in social media. So she had to retract that statement, thinking that, oh, my star power can allow for this debauchery. It'll lead me to greater record sales. No, it led to an absolute hailstorm of criticism. So she retracted she said, oh, no, I didn't say that. Yeah, you did. You did. But this is their leader, right? This is the modern female leader. Think of your loins and not your kids. Have them go into a class and disrupt it. Hit anyone they need to and blame the teacher for the problem. Accountability is like kryptonite to the single female, single mother. Deflect, deflect, deflect. And again, fathers need to be in their lives as well, and I'm charging fathers here. If you have a child in this sort of predicament, you need to get in that child's life immediately. Do not wait. Because you're as responsible as she is. If you had chosen to live your life away from your children, from your responsibility, you're as bad as she is. And then that child becomes our problem. What are we going to do with that child? Well, chances are, with this sort of custodial system we have in this country, and in North America, period, they'll end up dead in jail. They'll not waste any time. They'll not argue with the teacher anymore. You argue to a judge. And chances are that public defender of yours, who has no time for your antics and your ridiculous antics and behavior, they're going to have you locked up quicker than you can say quick. But hey, if you have the money by ill-gotten gains, or if you manage to eke out a life for yourself. But again, you're one of the very, very, very few. You're one of the 1 in a million. No wonder passport bros are leaving. All those guys, Xennial type, what do they want to deal with you? I wouldn't want to deal with you. I see you in the clubs all the time. It's terrible. I don't want to deal with you. No chance. No chance. I think for most of these men, they want to be from a 2-parent household. And, well, that's a rare thing, but if you were raised right by it, listen, it can happen in a single-parent home. You're raised right. But chances are it's in a single-father home than a single-mother one. But again, that's where a whole generation will be lost and relegated to a life of hard graft and chance-filled prospects, where most of these people end up losing. And it's all because you neglected to be a parent.
He don't know the first thing to do. He don't know what to do with that information. So you make these decisions off the bat. Crazy decisions off the bat. And then you just want society and community to just work out. You just want it to work out. Just work itself out. You make all the bad decisions concerning your womb and which man gets a baby, and not having these children in any type of solidified situation. Y'all are just hoeing around. You want to be sluts and hoes from your teenage years to your my age. And you don't even have the good sense as to not get pregnant and have all these kids. You coming up consistently with 3, 4, 5 kids, 3, 4, 5 baby daddies consistently.
It's consistently, yeah. You ever take a look at the Kendra G show? And how many women with 3 or 4 or 5 kids by 3 or 4 or 5 baby daddies? 3 or 4 or 5 baby daddies still want a man to come in and take care of these kids, thinking, oh no, they're grown, they're well behaved. They won't give a man trouble. No, they want a man to come in and clean up the mess. And no man in his right mind is doing that anymore, because being a stepfather, as Kevin once said, the Godfather, R.I.P., It's now a thankless job. It's a thankless job. Who wants to walk into that? You want further gray hairs on my head? Be a stepdad. Hell no. No. I steer clear of there. I have a good radar for these sort of women. Get them away. Now, I love my black women. I want to be married to one, but I'll tell you what, it is harder and harder to find a good one. And this was a man that was raised by 2 parents. 2. One of the last ones. I feel like I'm a zebra in the Serengeti. A unicorn in the Serengeti, let me say that. So I have an eye for these sort of women, and believe me, protect myself when dealing with them, and once I'm done, I leave, because I know for a fact that this is nowhere near who I want to be with. And it is hoped that a lot of men follow my path, even if you do have kids. But be in their kids' lives, people, because we are raising a generation of, let me say it, criminals. Would-be criminals. Some will be a rose to the concrete, but that's a rarity. The rest will be left to their own devices. And society will deal with them, and it will not meet with a good end, believe me.
Consistent. It's our business, because it's not just 1 or 2 women, 4, 5 women, 10 or 20 women. It's the majority of you.
It's a generation
that either engage in this type of behavior, or you support it. You are raising children with the same heedless mentality that you have. What that young lady described, we have all witnessed. Little kids cussing, twerking, acting a fool, not having any respect for authority, can't be corrected. That's y'all. That's y'all. And y'all supposed to be grown. The little kids is 3, 4, 5 years old. You 20-something, 30-something, and you and the 5-year-old think the same way. You and the 5-year-old got the same outlook on life. And none of y'all seem to think that that's an issue. You think it's cute to not raise your kids. Y'all have the kids, and they may actually be with you, but y'all are not raising no children. Let's get that straight. Y'all are not, the vast majority of y'all don't raise kids. You just harbor them. You hold kids hostage. You hold them for ransom. You're not raising no children. Because raising children will indicate that you knew how to be a mother, and you don't. And you're not interested in being a mother. Y'all are harboring and holding kids hostage for ransom money. Y'all not raising no kids. We got better raising from crackheads in the crack epidemic when we was Gen Xers. We got better raising from our mothers who was cracked out than these kids is getting, and y'all will swear to God, y'all ain't on no drugs, and y'all doing better.
Remember what I said before about Gen Xers as being the last generation of properly raised children? Crack epidemic was the 80s. That's when pretty much most of us grew up. Crackhead mothers were better parents than children of today who have nothing wrong with them. They have no addictive personalities. They are not in and out of drug rehab, in and out of hospitals, being irresponsible as hell, but they knew one thing: if their kids fell out of line, they got themselves straightened up and got their kids disciplined. I've seen it myself. I've seen it myself. You don't have that anymore. You don't have that fail-safe anymore. And believe me, there's a whole generation who's going to feel a whole lot of pain in the next few years. And I pray for society having to deal with these children. I pray. I'll let Crimson finish up here.
Because cracked out or not, our mamas knew where we was at. You couldn't disrespect us. And you couldn't talk crazy to authority. Because cracked out or not, if the teacher told your mama that you was in school acting a fool and cutting up, you still finna be in trouble. I don't care how much crack she smoked.
Believe me, I've been there. I've seen it. In my family, I've seen it. Let me stop right here, because I want to cut this short, and I want to just finish up and say this, because let me get this back here. There's nothing more to be said. Nothing more to be said. If you were born within the years of from 1990 onwards, or even the late 80s, early 90s, and you have children right now that are just like this, I beg of you, get it together. I beg of you, get it together. Because you're in for a rude awakening for these kids. Some will escape, some will do the right thing, but most of you won't. And believe me, society has something for you, and you're not going to like it. You single mothers, stop this independent crap that you're dealing with. And find be a parent, as my girl was saying. You single fathers who are out there who are not a part of your children's lives, get in their lives. Because your kids are about to become a statistic. No ifs, no ands, no buts. It's happening. And it's up to you to save them. Teachers are leaving. Kids are, ballet teachers are getting fed up. Nobody wants to deal with your kid anymore. So the state will. And when the state does, then you'll be crying, oh, woe is me. No. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Remember that. You intended your kids to be good, but they weren't, because you weren't there. So get your act together before your kids fall apart. Especially you single mothers. Don't be independent anymore. The statistics are on the wall. Greater chance of pregnancy. Greater chances at violent behavior. Greater chance of being in jail. Greater chance of being dead. Greater chance of at-risk pregnancy. Greater chances of every negative that you could think of. So I leave it to you. I know I'm safe in the knowledge that I will never choose one of you. Not for a long-term relationship, not for children. Hell no. But I'm thinking about your children and a better life for them. Do right by your kids. Mothers, fathers, whoever. Because it's leading to a road to nowhere. And a road to nowhere fast. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk to Talk Live. We'll be back next week for more shows. Trying to keep it tight within the hour. An hour of power. And I appreciate you being with me here tonight. And we'll leave it till next week. Thank you to Crimson Cure. Thank you to that young lady who poured her heart out for you all. I hope it's a cautionary tale for everyone. Good night from Toronto. And thank you very much for joining me on Talk Talk live on YouTube. And I look forward to bringing you more subject matter. We have way more shows to come. And I look forward to speaking to you then. We're going to keep things within an hour, keep things tight and right. I think this is a very eye-opening and provocative show. And it's just a showing the decline of a generation. And it is shocking, to say the least, that these parents will see Sexy Red as a role model, to see and to vilify teachers from trying to instill discipline, values, structure. Focus on these children, and they just don't get it. No, the teachers and the instructors are the problem, not the kids. Don't worry, society's got something for you. And you're not going to like it. So it's up to you to straighten up and ship it out. Especially you single mothers. Especially you fathers who are derelict. But especially you single mothers. Get it together. Find that father and have him in the children's lives and do what's best for the children for the love of God. Because this is a problem that's not going anywhere. It's only going to get worse. And you're going to feel it. Some way, somehow. I pray for us. I pray for us all. Thank you very much for joining me.